Hey, Buffy had shown some really neat images of a barn, and she gave it a super cool name called Barntober. I think that's correct, Barntober. And thought we would show some pictures of barns, especially since it's October and here in the US, the trees are changing beautiful, beautiful colors from green to browns and reds, etc. And I asked the brand ambassadors if they would pick some of the colors that they think about when they're painting roofs or looking at barns. So if you have some that are favorite to you and you'd like to show them, that'd be fantastic.
John, just before you
Yes.
proceed, we're actually seeing just half of your body. So if you could just adjust.
Okay.
Thank you.
There we go. I have two cameras. Oh, there we go.
All right, good.
That was my better half anyway. So okay. So Ethel, can we start with some of the
Yes.
photos?
Okay, we can do share screen now.
Oh, what is
Please
that?
start with Buffy's. Here we go. There.
Very cool. Buffy, do you want to say anything about them?
Oh, I did that in demo yesterday, and we had a really great group of artists that were super engaged. So we had a lot of fun. We did scraping techniques and a little bit of stenciling. And our goal was to do a vignette, leaving some of the, most of the white of the paper in the corners. And that can be a real challenge. And then the photo on the top left, I took on a road trip across New Mexico. And then the bottom left is at a reserve out in North County of San Diego. I'm going to try and paint that today. I'll be doing that in the background. So I love the old tin roofs.
Yeah. Very nice. Okay. And this is Rajat. Rajat, can you say something about yours?
Rajat, your mic is on mute. Okay, there you go.
There he goes. Rajat, can you say something about yours?
Yeah, this is something, the 266 colors dot cards, which we have, like I have used more or less all the colors over here. This is the actual painting. In fact, I'm holding it now. So if you could see that, this is the actual painting. And it gives us such good, rooftop. It has a character. Each, these are terracottas, and the way it is coming, all the colors are different because certain fungus is there, sunlights are different, and it has a different texture altogether. So I wanted to portray that. So that's how I did it. Thank you for sharing.
Oh,
Rajat,
yeah,
can I ask a question about this painting?
Yeah, please.
So there's so much amazing realistic texture on the tiles. Did you put something on there, or is that all just the illusion of the watercolor?
No, these are absolutely watercolor. There is no other, illusion or nothing is there. These are all because I worked on. There was a phase of time, a couple of years I worked on textures. So everywhere I was looking for textures. So this is one of the particular textures. That's how I picked up this subject as a tiles, rooftop tiles.
Wonderful work, wonderful texture.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Rajat, there was a question about how you started the painting from Diane. How did you start that painting?
Well, I mean, I was in a rooftop and I happened to see this particular, it was below than me. So I could see that. And when I saw the texture, the formation of this thing. So, and I started from, of course, I did the drawing first, but I went little close, how it is holding each other. So, and I found there a good texture because some of the terracotta, it has broken. Some of them, the edges are because it's been God knows for how long it is there. So if something got rubbed off and all this thing. So it has a different character. Each tiles has got a different character. I wanted to portray that, and that's how I've gone zoomed, and I have found this particular painting.
Yeah, I think it's similar to Buffy's question that she asked. There's just so much texture there. It's kind of like where do you begin that painting with just, you know?
Well, I mean, of course, there was a first stone. There are multiple layers which I've worked on, multiple layers. So there is a huge number of layers. It's not that 3 or 5 or 7. It has layers after layers after layers, and that's how it happened. While creating a texture, one has to go through that. So maybe the first stone, then you go little. It took such long time. Let me tell you. It's not over, half an hour, 45 minutes job.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just a really good one. Yeah, this is a half imperial size painting, in fact, which I have done.
beautiful, Rajat. Beautiful work.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
You're
Okay.
We'll move on to the next one. I think Besnik is not in the room yet, so we can jump into Sabine's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Sabine, would
that's
you like to
good.
talk about them?
Yes, the first one on the left side is an Irish house. I find it in the holidays, and the second one on the right side is an Irish house too, and I'm fascinating of the roof. It's just little tiny sticks, and I love that house. And on the left side, the next one, it's a house in Switzerland in the mountains, and I love these old barns, and I love to create winter scenes. And on the right side, the house, it's a house in my town, in my city, and it's standing near on my side, and I love this old house. It's just wooden and special roofs on it, and I love this style very much.
Very nice. Yeah, I
Thank
like
you.
that.
Thank
Oh,
you
you're
for
welcome.
sharing.
It's Angela's.
Yes. To make a comment, the two paintings on the left are a scene of one of our coastal places, Calella de Palafrugell, and the roofs are very orangey. There is a mass of houses, so the roofs against the white buildings make it make them stand out a lot, and they are really this orangey color, our tiles. On the top right, those are roofs from Fabriano, actually, from the city of Fabriano, that I took in one of the trips there. And they are, I think that it's because it's the sunset, you don't really see the orangey color so much. It's more brownish or grayish, but during the day they are more orangey, I think. It's a characteristic of the Mediterranean countries, I would say. And the bottom right, that was painted in Albania, and the roofs were really dark. And yeah, I tried to paint that. It was also more, I don't know, more like against the cold. I would say they was protecting against the cold. So
Very
these are my
cool.
paintings. Thank you.
Beautiful.
you're
Ange.
And I think Besnik is in Zoom now, so we will go back to this. This is Besnik's.
Hello, Besnik.
Hello.
You guys hear me and see me? I
Yeah.
don't know, something wrong with connection.
Can hear you now. But not now.
And hi, Besnik, we can hear you.
Or I really don't hear anything, just like all the words disconnecting.
Yes, everything is good.
Okay, so now I see my painting is on screen, right?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah,
No.
Besnick, it's on the screen. We can hear you.
It seems to be like lunar red rock or
Earth, yeah. I was gonna
Okay,
say
if you
that.
guys hear me, I'm gonna speak. I don't know why I just got all like I cannot hear anyone.
We can hear you.
I have used here as a color in the castle of this China wall. I have used hematites, and down I have used on the bottom left side of the screen. I have used lunar earth. As a green, I have used jadeite, which is one of my favorite greens, and just at the right, below the castle, lunar red rock mixed with lunar earth.
Secret recipe.
Again, on top, I used on the left side of the castle, as we see it. Again, it's a lunar earth mixed with hematite, and you can also, all of you recognize the quinapridon deep gold, which is a beautiful color. I hope you got all what I said. Otherwise, I really don't hear anything. I don't know.
We got it all. Very nice.
That's the last artwork, John.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that, everybody. So if there's a, I think when I think of roofs coming from Southern California, I remember the metal roofs, like Buffy was showing the metal roofs with the rust, and they kind of look sometimes silver and sometimes they're brownish. Or when I go to Asia, I see a lot of the terracotta, similar to what Rajat had, and I see the different types of algae and lichens, etc., growing on them. And then in Spain and in Italy and in Portugal, the beautiful anywhere from the orange to the very dark reddish, almost like environmental friendly red iron oxide color of the roofs. It's just amazing, all that color all around us all the time. So it was my question, since Buffy shared her barn, was what do you like in terms of colors of roofs? You know, if you live in the city, there's aggregate roofs, roofs made of stone. There's tar roofs. There's just an amazing amount of colors. And I thought if you as viewers would pick out some of your colors that you could think of, this would make a neat roof. And brand ambassadors, maybe we could spend a couple of minutes showing different colors. Or, you know, and even if you envision what a barn might look like, what would those colors be? And you know, they can be whatever's in your mind. So I'm going to show some humans. Yes.
I'm seeing Gio do a live painting of a roof.
On his roof or a
Yeah.
roof?
On a roof, like a big.
You want to flip to him?
Yeah, I will put a spotlight. Here you go.
Oh my God. No, this is a English house. This is photo reference. Is near my house in the natural reserve. Now is a national park. Now is a movie location for the Hollywood and Italian films. And this paint is very, very old. Is before the Daniel Smith entering the DS family. This is my Lada's version. And now I try to replace with my palette during the live Zoom, John. And now I use for the base for the roof, also red gold and queen gold for the base, and washing after dry with the pyrrole orange, cadmium red medium hue. And the shadow is Bandic brown. And before I created this part with Nepal yellow aureolin, and the sky with cobalty blue and lunar blue. And now I prepare the tiny details of the roof. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Thank you.
John, I see that Gabriel is in the room too, and he was working on red barns this week also. Maybe he has some that he can share with us.
That'd be great.
So I just got back from Pennsylvania and Maryland, where I taught for a week, and I did not paint one palm tree. I painted every other kind of tree, and we had barns. And so I'm enjoying the barns because of the new mixes that are working on. I've been working on how dynamic these shadows can be. So we have some lovely roofs. Here is a nice bright high key building. We have this area here that all of the, so it's not always just about the roof, it's about everything, so that everything flows together. But we have some nice mixes here of working with some moon glow, and we're working with some permatex along with some beautiful reds and greens. There's a lot of covered bridges, and I was just enjoying these covered bridges, and it just kind of invoked more learning for me. So I just recently got some books on how they built these covered bridges and barns and why. It matters to know what some of these materials are made out of, and knowing what colors to mix for these and why these roofs are made the way they're made. You know, this particular barn has a metal roof, and it has these little hooks, kind of like things sticking up here, where the snow doesn't just like quickly melt and drop off. Looking at the characteristics of the trees and how these trees create dappled lighting, and building up these layers. We have some buff titanium for the first layer. Then we have some moon glow with a mix of some other color like cobalt, green, turquoise. And then we've got then the building of this tree. But yes, it's nice to be able to paint this roof, but if all of this stuff here doesn't work together, it really doesn't matter, does it? But yeah, I just did a fun little live here. This was a fun live yesterday on my Watercolor Wednesday. It was kind of more kiddish because my niece's daughter wanted to learn how to paint watercolors. So we broke it down to really simplified shapes, but it's very dynamic as far as light and shadow. So thanks. Thanks, Buffy, for mentioning me.
Oh, yeah, that one, if you go back like 4, the one where you have all the tree shadow on the roof, That's my favorite. It just, when I saw that one, I was like, yes, that's so good. I think it's the next one.
This one.
That one, yeah. The shadows are so well executed. That's awesome. Good job.
Thanks. Things like this happen when you sometimes feel like giving up, and you just say, let's just paint another one. And beautiful things like this happen.
Thank you for sharing.
That's awesome, Gabriel. Really like it.
Thank you. And all your work, everyone's work you've been posting, I've really enjoyed it. It's really encouraged me. Thank you so much. All those paintings you've chosen for today's live, Ethel, are amazing. So encouraging.
Okay. So Ethel, is there anybody else right now that's painting that wants to
Ashley,
share?
I think I saw Ashley. Let's see. Ashley? Yeah, okay, here.
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm painting our little shed. We have a metal shed in our backyard. And right now I'm just adding the rust to the roof. So it's kind of that corrugated metal. And we had a really rough winter last winter. And there was a lot of snow, which made a lot of rust. So this is transparent red oxide. It's my favorite rust color. Has that like really rich granulation. It's just beautiful. And then for my grays, I actually started with a wash of hematite genuine. And then once that was dry, I went over and started adding in these darker with my newest color, Payne's Blue Gray. That's really all I've used here. This is, you don't care about the background. Who cares about that? I mean, it's a background. But yeah, that's about it.
Very
Thanks
cool.
for looking.
Awesome.
It's a really beautiful combination.
So when
John,
I think of Spanish tiles, I kind of think of, at least here in California, is the Terra Escalano. It has a really beautiful, you can mix it to get it to be probably perfect, but out of the two, it's a really cool color.
I chose that color today too. I totally agree. That's such a cool color because the way it granulates, it's subdued, but it's such a good mixer.
Yeah, I like I like that color. And the one that was just used by Ashley, the transparent, is really quite pretty as well. So when I think of barns, they probably would never be as red as the pyro red. But I've seen ones that have been washed out and they look more like the Paraline, a little bit maybe on the purple side, like Gabriel's were. This was really popular, super popular color in Portugal, because the roofs had, I mean, they just look like this. They were, the granulation helps it out, but they were really this color. We sold, or just retailers sold through every color they had of the Piemontite. And when I think about the woods, I look at Angus McEwen, who's like a master of doing, if you haven't seen his work, a master of doing wood. I really think in my head that the granulating power adds so much to what kind of the outside of wood of a barn would look like to my eye, between this and maybe, even kind of in this range right here, which is the bloodstone. And then I was talking with Giovanni and Letizia, and I know they have some of the Yavapai and the Sedona, which really kind of matches some of the tiles that you see in Italy. So it's a lot of the these, which kind of natural colors. Not over here though. The red of the side of the barns, etc. Oh, I've never seen anything this red in Washington. We have lots of farmland in Washington. We grow lots of wheat. The majority of the eastern part of Washington is wheat country. So lots of barns, lots of hay areas. So this is Pyro Red. This is Paroline, Piemontite. This one's Tiger's Eye, burnt Tiger's Eye. Sedona. This is
Terracolano, is it maybe Terracolano?
Terracolano. Yes, exactly. And this is Bloodstone.
Fabulous. The
So
Terracolano is very much like the roofs in Spain.
yes. Some of the colors that are really popular in Sweden are the environmental oxides, because it matches the top of the roofs of the houses. So let me see.
Sorry, what is the name of that rust colored one? The one next to the moonstone. Yeah,
This
that
one.
one. Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to focus. It's Terre, Ercolano, Ercolano. I'll put two beside each other. Usually it'll focus
Thanks.
if there's two, but it's not going to do that today.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Okay, let's see.
Ercolano is a city in Italy near Naples. And terre means earth. So
Earth,
the earth
yeah.
of Ercolano, I think it means. Correct me if I'm wrong,
That's
Letizia.
correct. Yeah.
Yes, it's near Pompeii.
Yes.
So a lot of the pigments are named from where they come from. Venetian earth. I mean, there's see if there's any other. So I tried to think of some other colors that I think about when I look at roofs. And again, they don't have to be realistic colors. It can just be colors that are in your imagination that make a good roof for you.
John, I think an interesting topic that we've discussed before is the difference of the copper roofs in different countries and how they oxidize to different blues and greens according to the atmosphere in the location.
Yeah, they yeah. So copper, I mean, malachite and azurite are good examples of that. They're polymorphs, and they go from blue to green depending on the age. Yeah, they're also very good. They're not what you want to use probably today, but back in the day they were used because they're great getting rid of any type of lichen or algae, because they're copper. So sometimes you see it run in some older sections as a very thin line, just a thin line that goes across, and as it corrodes, drips down the tiles. But it's beautiful. You're right. It's beautiful. So I was thinking graphite gray, but that so does not make sense. I've never seen a roof like that. In my mind, I thought, oh, graphite gray, that I think that's
What
where.
about the slate? The slate roofs would be graphite gray.
Oh, yeah. Slate roofs could be graphite gray. I was kind of going down the path that Ashley was with the shed in her backyard, or that Buffy had, because I've seen that when I travel, the different colors that the galvanized tin will go through as it ages and loses its ability to fend off corrosion.
In Australia, there's a lot of tin roofs, and the current
Yes.
trendy color is called monument grey, which would be very similar to a graphite grey.
Monument gray. I've never heard about that.
It's just a brand label, you know, a supplier of tin roof. It's their popular color.
Monument gray.
Mm.
And those
Because
are
it's
those-
illegal. It's illegal to have a plain tin roof in Australia because of the reflection of the sun for the aircrafts. So you have to have a painted tin roof of some sort.
That's cool.
Hello, can you hear
Yes,
me? If I
can
may
hear you well.
contribute, because I was
Please.
thinking of gray roofs, and because I just went there, France has a bunch of gray roofs. All the side roofs that have those windows, that part of the upper part of the building in France. It's like at least half of the buildings are gray. I don't know if specifically graphite gray, but definitely gray. Yes.
Oh, very cool.
So they'd be like shingle roofs.
They're shingles, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And you may, if you want to imagine, you can see, even protruding windows out of them. I don't know how you call them. I'm sure there's an architect term for those. You know what I mean? That they kind of.
Yes. I think they're called dormer windows.
Yes, that's right. And if you can imagine that in France, a bunch of them are gray, or in that, some in greenish also.
Very cool.
And I'm doing, well, while I'm doing a few, but not gray, but all the burnt combinations of oxide. And I agree. I think it was Buffy that said about the transparent red oxide. And I did this one in particular. I think this is my favorite so far, with deep scarlet. I really like it.
It looks amazing, really good.
Yeah, so I'm doing a bunch of, but they're mostly with oxide theme, not gray. But I just wanted to contribute about the gray roofs. So, yeah.
Very nice.
Mhm.
Thank you, Anna. Very cool. So
Thank
this is the Venetian red.
Oh, another beautiful color.
Yeah, it is a beautiful color. And this is the burnt sienna. Here in the community I live in, we have a homeowners association, and there's many of those here in the US, and they regulate what colors can be used. So you can't be a maverick and, paint your house yellow. It has to be an earth tone. And there's something about looking at 30 or 40 earth tone houses. It does feel good versus blues and reds, which I like. But there's something neat about uniformity. Although I like the Mavericks that paint their doors yellow or paint their doors red just to be different. It says a lot.
John, one day we could do doors.
That would be actually, because I want to paint my doors, that would be awesome. Yes. I've watched people paint their doors, and they'll say, I'm going to paint my door yellow. I'm going to paint it red. You go, that's not going to work. And you look when it's done, and it so works. It's just so neat how just a little bit of color can just make everything work.
I think in France they are kings because they make the most beautiful lavender, doors and windows, and wow, the colors in there in that
Yes.
door are amazing. I love that.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have a question. So if you're painting like a German village, Would you use the same colors as you use for like the Italian roofs?
Oh, why
Does
don't- why don't-
anybody have an idea? They have the red roofs.
So Sabine, maybe she would have input on that.
Is Sabine there?
She might be away from her desk.
Hmm.
Yes. The question was if I paint the same color for German roofs like Italian roofs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that right? No. No.
Okay. What would you use?
It's a question of the light. And the light in Italian is much often much more warmer than in Germany.
Okay.
And so I want to have the sun in Italian, and in Germany it's more clearly colors and a little bit cooler
Cooler. Okay.
from the colors. That's my fault. I don't know if others are the same, but that's my fault. Yes.
Very interesting. Thank you, Sabine.
Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you for the question.
And so I'm gonna flip to Ashley since I can see both of her cameras. Ashley, are you doing a reference of what you're using?
Yes. Yeah. So this is my sketchbook and I use it for play. And then anytime I'm doing a new painting, I'll just kind of swatch what I'm using and I'll make notes on the side.
Can you tell us
Super
what
fun.
you're using? I know you told us about the.
Yeah. So the
transparent.
background, this is one of my favorite greens. It's German greenish raw umber.
Wow.
And then I added a little manganese blue hue wash over the top of this because I was looking at my reference and I realized that this metal has kind of a bluish tint to it. And then this is a mix of the manganese and the hematite genuine, which is kind of interesting. Here's the Payne's blue gray that I did for my darks and the hematite genuine all by itself. I love that color. It's such a great color. And then the trans red oxide for the rust. And then I added salt to the rust to kind of give it some texture.
Oh,
Very cool. Very cool.
Thank you.
Thank
I love the manganese blue mixed with the, what color is that?
yeah.
It's hematite genuine.
Mm, yeah.
I
What
know, two colors I would have not ever thought of mixing together, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah. It is.
I have
And
got one more. I have got one more work which recently, I mean, a couple of months back, I've been to France. So this is not only the roof, but I like that, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, burnt umber, and the way things have been done. Like it's beautifully crafted over there. So I wanted to portray that. So I found another work of mine, which is like this in France.
very nice, Rajat. Rajat, can you
Thank
show
you.
the I don't know if everybody saw it, so maybe you can show your original the roof
Yes.
show here. And then
Yeah,
can you
sure.
quickly just show your dot card to show people how many colors
That is so
that you used
amazing.
to do your roof?
So I think all the colors, in fact. So this is these
Wow.
colors, if you see them, even the blue, green, these, in fact, I have
Wow.
used more than 265 colors, in fact,
Wow.
to create this particular thing.
That's
So
awesome.
if you see closely,
Wow.
Huge painting, Rajat. It's a huge painting.
So pretty.
it is in half imperial sized.
Wow.
Amazing work, Rajat.
Wow.
Thank you, brother.
Mhm.
So beautiful.
Rajat, how long did that take you to paint?
I think more than 8 days.
More
Wow.
than eight.
7 to 8
Nice.
days, yeah. Because very minute work has been done. If you notice them, I'm just showing them because very minutely I've done this thing. And this terracotta has got different shades. That's the best. I mean, that's what I found. You know, textures are different, shades are different, and how they hold each other. You know, there's a lot of story while doing this thing. When I grab this thing, and that's how I've zoomed into it, because from a distance it looks like all roofs are same, and if you go close, you will get to see. Okay, this is how this A is different from B, B is different from C. So I wanted to portray that. So that's how this thing is. Thank you for allowing me to show. That's how this thing is.
You are so welcome.
I see Buffy working on a new piece here.
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I was kind of giggling because a lot of the colors that are getting called out are some of my favorites. But the Terry Ercolano, is that how you say it, John?
Yeah, that's good.
I had chosen right. I had chosen that one, but the color I wanted to focus on was Amazonite because it's transparent. It's a teal, but it's liftable, and so it's kind of a cool mixer. So here you can see it mixed with the Quinn red, and you get this really soft blue. And when you mix it with the Terry Ercolano or whatever you say, it makes this really granulating brown, which I felt. I don't know, I just kind of saw some of these colors. Down here, the Amazonite with raw sienna light actually makes a proper green. And so, yeah, just playing with trying to get a base of just grungy texture, kind of inspired by Rajat's roof. And then when it's all done, then I'll put in little details. But this, the hardest part, I think, was drawing it because everything is cattywampus and falling apart, and a lot of fun to.
You did a great.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Buffy, it's beautiful.
Buffy.
Thank you. Really quick, I would love to show you guys a real quick trick.
Sure, please.
I'll just pick a spot. So you put down some paint. This is fun. We figured this out yesterday in class, and you take a piece of foil. And while it's wet, you just kind of drag it down. And there you go. You've got some wood grain and kind of fun. You could take an old card and stamp in some lines even, do a couple drag marks, and then let it dry and throw some shadows like Gabriel's cool shadows that he had. A little texture like Rajat, some bold color like Angela, and voila.
Well, you got everything there.
Yeah.
It's like a family recipe, right? Everybody's
Absolutely
inspired by
beautiful.
all of you.
How clever of you.
Wow. If you're going to work on that, Buffy, I'd love to see it next week when you have more of it done.
Okay, sounds good.
That'd be fantastic.
Sure will.
Imagine
Thank you.
that. And how about Giovanni? Because I see he's almost done his.
A lot
Wow.
of detail. It's completed with my .kai's new version. I apply the zoom. This beautiful contrast with the Naples yellow and Oriole combination, and apply the Bundy brown and neutral tints. And for the roof, also red gold and neutral tint. It's very interesting. And now apply the gouache. And try with white. Little detail on the roof. It's very fast for me. Point of light. Tone by tone. It's very funny. This is a new version, old version.
Oh, wow.
It's completely different. After 8 years.
Wow.
I
Nice to
prefer
meet you, buddy.
Bluebird.
Thank you.
Amazing work,
This is
Giovanni.
my last painting before approaching on hyperrealistic style.
Before what?
This is my last painting before approaching of the hyperrealistic style. After this, I painted only hyperrealistic.
Okay,
Wonderful.
Yeah.
lovely.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Lovely job. Very good.
Thank you. The green is a Prussian green and lunar black and cascade green mixing together.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Hey,
There is a person in Facebook called Sandra Cortez who would like to share a reference photo of some roofs in Portugal. But
please.
she tried to enter Zoom, and for some reason she keeps disconnected.
Yeah.
Asking whether there's another way she could send us the photo, because I think in Facebook it's not possible to send file. Is it? Maybe Sandra, you could have it in I don't know, in a link. You could send us the link of somewhere where you have the photo.
You may be able to put the image in Facebook, and Letizia or Giovanni can grab it from Facebook and bring it over and paste it into Zoom.
Ah, yes, exactly. Good, well thought of. Yes, thank you. You can put it in your wall, and then we will take it from there, Sandra. You send it where? Yeah, I don't know where she sent it.
I found it. I will grab it there.
Ah, perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Ethel. Thank you. Yeah. So we will be able to see her photo finally. She has a page called Sandra or Sa Cortez Fotografía.
Yeah.
Okay, I found this one image here.
Yeah, if you
Sharing
can
this, Sandra. This is Sandra's.
can
Oh, yeah, very pretty.
oh yes,
Wow. It's amazing.
Yeah.
so pretty. Yes, that's in Portugal.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
roofs is beautiful, and the stonework is just magnificent.
it is. It is. Wow, and the roof so orange.
So orange. Wow.
That be terracolano? What orange would that be?
That's what it looks like in my mind. Wow, that's awesome.
And there's one more. Okay, let me stop share first. There's one more from Sandra. 1, 2.
It would make a beautiful painting, that photograph.
That would.
Actually, it refers to the same image. So there's only one, just twice. Yeah.
And the stonework is beautiful. I don't know. Would that be what color would the stone be, John? Would it be Piemontite, or what color would that be?
You know, I would ask, since Rajat's on and he's a master painter of stone, I'd ask Rajat what in his mind he would see them being.
Yeah, can you just show me the painting, the picture?
And the picture, sure.
Yeah.
Let me go back. Here it is. There.
1 second, it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like this primarily the colors are buff titanium, okay, with
Yeah.
a certain amount of light cobalt, yellow ochre, burnt sienna. These are the primary color. I mean, it's not one particular color over here. They're a mix of colors, but these are the primary colors. In fact, predominantly been used. And on top of that, when it's coming to the final dip, it's burnt umber, of course, it is there. And ultramarine blue and burnt umber, that's how one can do this darker shade of this shadows of the stones, because these are the primary colors, in fact, which I found.
And, can you repeat, please? Did you say a light wash of cobalt blue? Buff
Yeah,
and
buff titanium, yellow ochre.
a yellow ochre. Okay.
Yeah, yellow ochre and burnt sienna. These are the
Burnt sienna.
four colors. Yeah.
For that, we're talking about stone, right?
Yeah, these are the stones. And while giving the depth of the stone, well, the shadows are coming. So there, the Prussian blue, is there. Burnt umber is also there. So if you mix both of them, the darker shade comes.
Oh, how nice. Beautiful.
Very nice.
Thank you, Sandra, for sharing
Yeah.
it.
It's a beautiful picture.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Rajat.
Most welcome.
Fantastic. Okay. So how about you, Lori? Do you have any images or in your mind what you would paint a roof or? the side?
No, I haven't really ever done roofs. I do mostly flowers at this point. I'd kind of like to, now I'm
They were
inspired.
beautiful flowers.
I'm
yeah.
inspired though to do some barns and things. I was over in Yakima 2 weeks ago and saw some really beautiful barns over there. So I'm really inspired to sit down and paint some barns.
We have so many of them, don't we?
We do. We have some really pretty ones.
Oh,
Awesome.
gorgeous. Wow. I love that.
This is Belle. I have a barn I can show. I'm not showing me because I've had eye surgery. I look like, anyhow. I can share a photograph of a painting I did
Please.
of a barn.
Please.
Okay.
Belle, you just have to do whenever you're ready. Okay, let me put you on the spotlight. There you go. And remove the rest.
Wow.
I don't know if you can see. There it is.
Wow. So beautiful.
Unfortunately, I've done a lot of my paintings before I really started my curiosity into pigments. So I couldn't tell you what colors are in here. But that's one of the barns that I've done. I've got about 5 or 6 barns that I've done over the years.
Wow.
And this
Belle,
is
thank
the
you
most
for
recent one. And it's painted on watercolor canvas.
Ooh.
Wow.
I got some really interesting textures in it by some dry brushing, but I also like going back and doing the detail work on the individual planks, separating the colors into planks.
Very cool.
Okay,
Very nice.
thank you.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. I'm going silent and blind again.
Well, neat. Okay. All right. I hope you can join. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for showing your artwork. Thank you for talking about your artwork. I sent a message to the brand ambassadors about once a month, going over their dots, each one, and how and why they pick them. It looks real easy, but I know it's a pretty monumental task going through 266 colors. I see Mark laughing, going through 266 colors to pick 18. And I know it's all, I listen to them, and they have a reason why they pick each color. And so it'd be a neat story to hear from Mark, from Besnick, from Angela, how you go through that process. So we're gonna do that once a month, and you'll know ahead of time what colors we'll be looking at, so we can play with them together when the artist gives their presentation. So that will be on a Thursday. Once a month we'll do that. So with that, thank you all for joining. Thank you for participating, showing your images. Ashley, thank you. Gabriel, thank you. Thank all of you. Besnick, thank you. Belle, thank you. And I hope to see you tomorrow. It'll be a phenomenal artist tomorrow.
We
I
have
think you'll enjoy it.
Constantine.
Constantine, so you've seen Constantine before. Constantine can go from doing cats to doing runway models and anything in between. He's a fabulous artist, and I think you would enjoy him greatly. So with that, thank you all very, very much. I look
Thank
forward
you,
to
John.
this day. You're very welcome.
Thank you again,
Thank you,
John.
John.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.